Task 2, Question 2. Why did European countries not object to the start of trade between China and the United States? First, the answer: they didn't want to make the US an enemy. So they didn't want to become enemies with the United States. So why didn't they object to the start of trade between China and the United States? We need to find this part. So in the text, we understand that the Philippines were invaded and controlled by the United States. The United States created naval bases at Pearl Harbor in Hawaii and in the Philippines. So with this happened, the United States now could continue their goal of obtaining a share of Chinese raw materials, so doing trade with China. Okay, well, here we understand that it's easy to become an imperialist power in the Caribbean region. Why? Because it's closer in terms of distance, but when it comes to doing business with China, which is like 6,000 kilometers away, this wasn't that easy. This is what we understand. 6,000 miles away in East Asia in the face of establishment. Considering these circumstances, the United States was fortunate. So what happened here? Because they had some diplomatic policy and they did some agreements with the European countries. In 1899 and 1900, Secretary of State John Hay announced that the European monopoly powers had agreed to an open door policy. Now that means this policy means that anybody can trade freely in China. Okay, but we also understand that the European powers did not really want to do that. They didn't altogether accepted that proposition, but they had a fear. They were afraid of adding the United States to their long list of imperialist enemies, which means that they didn't want to make enemies with the United States. They didn't want to become enemies. So any answer like that would be fine.